Commanders trade reports are escalating. In today's video, we will discuss recent reports revealing blockbuster trade revolving around the Washington Commanders trading away the #1 option at the wide receiver position, Terry McLaurin. I'm your host, Azael Mejia, with Commanders Digest, reporting everything all Washington Commanders offseason, regular season, and everything between. So if you want to be caught up to date, everything Commanders, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Oh, I can already see it. People commenting, "Oh, you said in the last video you didn't want click, 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 right there, click, 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 click. Oh, you said McLaurin's not gonna leave. You want him to stay. You want him to be a Commander for life, and now you're saying he's gonna get traded away." Look, what have I said on this channel? It's not Commanders Digest video if they're not quotes thrown in there. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Your boy would like McLaurin to stay in Washington, get a deal done, be a part of the success after being thrown throughout all these years of turmoil, with scandals, with allegations. I would like McLaurin to stay in Washington, but I'm pretty sure, just like all Commanders fans, did not expect them to go this far with contract negotiations where he has to request a trade. And I'm pretty sure no Commanders fan had that on their bingo card for 2025. Terry McLaurin requested for a trade, because it's been a roller coaster of emotions. We've done a ton of videos about him. If you haven't seen those videos, watch them after this one. Of looking like deals were gonna get done, it's a done deal from weeks of not talking to each other and them trying to meet in the middle. They can't figure out numbers. So, like I said, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And right now we have an article from The Athletic talking about the top 5 teams that have the possibility of calling up Washington and be like, "Yo, we got this offer that could get a deal done for McLaurin." We're gonna be, like I said, you gotta prepare for the worst. If it happens to be one of these 5 teams, just comment down below which one has the best option. We do have some teams that we have discussed, we have made videos about. Go watch them after this one. Like the 49ers, like the Chargers, but also some other ones we sprinkle in there. We're going to be discussing that. I've done the research for you, believe it or not, so you don't have to. We're going to be breaking it down. But before we do that, if you're a new watcher, new viewer to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We don't have a subscriber goal because we already beat it. Appreciate it. Can we hit 1,000? No, I'm just joking. We're going to chill out with the subscriber goals, because I know people will be complaining. They'll be like, "Oh, he only asked for subscribers, yada yada." Well, that's one of the main points of YouTube, but we're not gonna aggressively push it. We did the OG original goal, trying to hit 500. We did it. I know we can hit 1,000 throughout the season, so next goal is 1,000, but we're not gonna be pushing it. But if you're new here, subscribe. Now, if you're a returning viewer, you can also help, because 87.5 of y'all who be watching the videos are not subscribed. That's crazy, because for the free skis, it doesn't charge you nothing, and it takes like 2 seconds. You can legit subscribe while you're watching the videos. That's how easy it is. But back to McLaurin. One of the teams right here is the team he's burning out right there is the Patriots. And we're going to be discussing the reasoning behind Patriots also being on this top 5 list. One being they have projected to have the most cap space in the league right now, which makes sense because the last couple years after Tom Brady left, they just been on this experimental rebuilding phase and switching out pieces here and there. It's been this foundation for the Patriots have been anything but steady. So obviously, if you go out to go get McLaurin, you have the money not only to pay him, but you maybe overpay him at this point. So they also have numerous factors like picks, players they're willing to swap out, because like I said, they're in that rebuilding phase. They're on the experimental phase, the Patriots. So they're looking at what works, what doesn't, and they're just willing to take chances, like trading away picks, trading away players for McLaurin, because they know what you get with McLaurin is a guy who's consistent, who hasn't missed a game since 2020. If you don't believe that, a fact I just read too, that he hasn't missed a game since 2020. He is consistent, 1,000-yard seasons. I think the last 5 years with different quarterbacks, nonetheless. That also as well. And another reason why the Patriots may be a great option for the Commanders decide to trade McLaurin is that they're in the AFC. Obviously, if you're the Commanders, you want to get McLaurin as far as possible. So that includes no teams in the NFC East, obviously, and then no teams in the NFC. You give them away to the AFC, and you give them a team like the Patriots that you hardly face year in, year out. Which is sort of funny, because if the Commanders decide to trade McLaurin, they want to trade him away as far as possible because they don't want to face him. Then if you don't want to face him, that would make sense. You want to keep him on your team, but I'm not the guy signing the checks. But one of them being the Patriots. We're also going to discuss, whoopsie, didn't mean to do that, the 49ers. We have done a video of this, a straight up trade with Brandon Ayuk, if that's possible, trade for trade. Obviously, that wouldn't work. The 49ers will have to provide picks in that because Brandon Ayuk is injured right now. He wouldn't be ready for week 1 of the NFL season. He tore his ACL, unfortunately, later in the year, last season. And what also makes sense, Brandon Ayuk has a lot of friends in Washington. JD5, Adam Peters, Deebo Samuels. If Brandon Ayuk somehow, someway gets to be in a Washington uniform, you might as well just call it the Washington 49ers. You might as well just combine the teams at that point. But 49ers also heavily called upon to be one of those top teams that can make a trade for McLaurin. Like I said, I don't think it could be, player for player. The 49ers are going to have to give up a lot more because Brandon Ayuk is injured. He wouldn't be ready for week 1. We also have, whoopsie, did not mean to do that, the Chargers. Now, if you're a real Washington fan, you will remember that picture. You remember that catch, that amazing catch. One of the catches of the year in that specific season. Obviously, for Chargers looking for that number 1 option at wide receiver. And what better number 1 option than making a trade for McLaurin? Chargers also have a ton of cap space to play with because their top 5 receivers for the Chargers are all on rookie contracts. So you're not bonded together to any specific receiver if you had to trade one of them picks away for McLaurin. Also, what's pretty crazy about the Chargers is they're projected to be the second most. They're projected to have the second most cap space in the league in 2026. So they got a lot of money to play with. You have Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert isn't a scrub either. Justin Herbert. You got Jim Harbaugh, a guy who's very experienced, who's been coaching in the league, including college, including NFL for decades at this point. So what will happen if you get a 3-headed monster in Los Angeles with Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert, and Terry McLaurin? It can be also during the AFC as well. So Washington, a lot of noticeable teams in the AFC that could trade for McLaurin. We're gonna have to change the graphic right here. This just hurts my heart. Just seeing this obviously photoshopped edit jersey of McLaurin in a Steelers uniform. We do not want that at all. But we do have the quote from Mike DeFabo from The Athletic, where we're getting all this information from, discussing what it would be like if McLaurin will get his way into Pittsburgh. McLaurin would be an instant and massive upgrade, signaling the Steelers really are all in for Rodgers. The veteran wide receiver also could help at the beginning of a rookie quarterback window on a short 2-year extension worth $30 million per year. This is also discussing Aaron Rodgers being this is him being his final year, even though he had that last dance Photoshop with Devontae Adams his last year with the Packers. So if this truly is Aaron Rodgers' last year in the NFL, why not go all in? Go get a number 1 receiver who's on the market, Terry McLaurin, and he could not only help Aaron Rodgers right now, but also if the Steelers decide to go get a rookie quarterback next year in the draft, what better option to have a wide receiver 1 than a consistent guy like McLaurin at wide receiver? Also, what helps Steelers being in AFC, ship them away far away as possible from the Commanders. We also have for our final team is, what's the button? Right here, the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, I was surprised by this too. This is also coming from The Athletic. This is what they had to say if McLaurin gets his way into Buffalo. McLaurin is a perfect fit for Josh Allen, though McLaurin's need for a new deal with a cap-strapped team casts some doubts on the pairing. If the Bills could move Curtis Samuel's $6.9 million in guaranteed base salary, along with a day 3 pick for someone like McLaurin, I could see them talking themselves into it. Samuel at least could give the Commanders a player they could start in the interim. Obviously, the Buffalo Bills have not been able to get over the hump when it comes to getting to at least a Super Bowl, because Josh Allen, being the reigning MVP as of right now, he's always struggled in the playoffs, and what better guy to get with you in the playoffs than a guy who's multiple seasons of getting 1,000 yards, consistent 1,000 yards, just got named All-Pro, just got named Pro Bowl, having that bona fide wide receiver 1 with McLaurin at the helm. So it makes sense that Buffalo will try to make this happen, because Josh Allen isn't getting any younger. And all these trial and errors of getting wide receivers, of getting guys in Buffalo and not working out. Do they try to go get McLaurin? Do they have the money? Like I said in the quote, they're cap strapped. So they're going to have to move some things around if they want to get McLaurin in a Buffalo uniform. But those are all the teams that we have, top 5 teams. Which one makes the most sense? Let me know in the comments down below. What does the mock drafts look like between, which one's most likely to happen, do you think? 49ers, the Patriots, the Chargers, Steelers, the Bills. I'm just noticing right now all these teams are no wonder 4 of them are in the AFC. That's what I'm just realizing right now. They're looking at the list, which makes the most sense because they do chip them away as far as possible. Put them in a team that you're not likely to face year in, year out. Like I said, I want to make this point clear because towards the end, just because I'm reporting on this doesn't mean I want it to happen. So, like I said from the beginning of the video, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. If McLaurin does happen to get traded, which team is more likely to get? What would, comment down below, Commanders fans? Who do you want in these mock trades? What makes the most sense? Who should the Commanders pick up the phone to? Who should they decline? But if anything breaks revolving around the Commanders atmosphere, you know it'll be covered right here on the channel. I'm Azael Mejia with Commander Digest, and I'll see you in the next video.